Hello, everybody. Hope you're doing well today. So let's talk about this being a spiritual courier and being a recipient of spiritual couriers. So once you claim your sovereignty, meaning nothing and no one is owed by you or to you, that all contracts and cords have been released or dissolved, and you're a free bird. You're a free bird. Slates are clean, free bird. That, of course, means energetically speaking, okay? So, claiming that sovereignty is claiming that you're ready. So now, instead of having all this software that's been pre-programmed, that has now been emptied out, and you have a clean vessel, clean hard drive, clean hardware, all that good stuff, you're now ready to pick and choose what it is that you're ready to receive and give. And energetically, claiming that you're ready and then taking the action for it allows for couriers to come in. So it can be a physical person that drops a message on you. It could be a song on the radio. It could be a thought that just pops into your head. It could be a new kind of dream. It could be anything. And then you process it through this physical vessel. And then you make the absolute best of it by setting your dial and your intention for the highest good of this frequency that you're choosing to be on. And that you're now going to be a courier of information, energetically, physically, mentally, etherically, to all. So you may come upon a conversation and you stop, drop, breathe, and then something comes through you, and it's delivered through your physical vocals, through your energetic body, your eyes, because you're listening and taking everything in with all of these sensories that are now becoming almost like clairs, okay, like clairvoyancy, etc., clairsentient, the knowingness, the empathic, which is the feeling, the processes of the feelings. And so as you begin to play with that, you're honing it in. And the more you hone it in, the better courier you are, and the better receiver of other couriers you are, because all of a sudden you put your mind to something, you're choosing to manifest it, you're setting your dial, and then boom, here come the messages. Now, sometimes these messages may come in a way that you're like, huh? Like, what was that? You didn't even know it was a message. Because maybe at the time that you were receiving it, you had an expectation. Or maybe at the time you set your intention, you had an expectation. And maybe at the time that you were in exchange or receiving it, maybe you honestly had half of a mind. So you weren't 100% mindful in full consciousness. So there could have been a distraction. So then, we filter through the physical system. And we also filter through how we dissect information. And some of us are a little bit different. And so maybe quite possibly your first thought was a little bit of resistance. Like, huh? What? Where? No. I strongly suggest to each and every one of you beautiful light folk out there, because you're all light. You all want to light up more, more, more. Work on setting that dial. Work on being open. You're fully protected. Now, I always suggest that you still do little protections, project your protection out all over and around you through the Christ consciousness, the golden ray, divine source, crystals around you, whatever it is that you choose to do, even if it means you wear a crystal or a stone or lucky something, whatever that may be, so that the messages that you are attracting to yourself and taking out and sharing with others as well is for the highest good and the highest intention. So it becomes your filter for you when you know that you're fully protected. All right? So remember that once you raise your vibration, sometimes it's a little bit like sandpaper to someone else, and they may hit it hard with some resistance. And they may hit it hard with some things that just don't feel so good. And some people will call that an attack. Call it what you want. Don't label it. Just know that it's like, ow, ow. And just be with it. All right? But if you're fully protected, you know that you have that, so everything's a life lesson, right? So it's just not going to cause you harm because you're fully protected. And then you're going to find some that are going to hit you with the intent of doing harm. Now remember, those who set out to do harm, they don't fail because they didn't do a good job. Because sometimes their job, because the light of their soul is very dim, is to create and to get you off your track and to create some serious derailing, okay, self-doubt, knock you off your pedestal, so to speak. They don't fail because they've done a good job. They fail. They don't succeed because you're fully protected and you're reminding yourself to do your prayers of protection, however that may be, and that you're a sovereign being, so that none of these old attachments are there for them to be getting into any pathway of programming, because you've already declared those null and void, right? And you've set your dial for the highest intention. So you're under the God sparking umbrella at all times. So they may do their job really, 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 really well, but they don't succeed because you're automatically fully protected. What a concept. So you don't put your armor on and go out with, I got this, put them up, I'm gonna get all of you, you're never gonna get me. You go out knowing that this barrier of protection is breathing, allows things to just bounce. It's all lessons. Yeah, they're all lessons. Your confidence, your motivations, what drives you, are all from the heart. And that's never going to get derailed by anyone with a different dial frequency, because you're going to keep yours where it needs to be. And you're not going to match those vibrations of those coming in towards you to create derailment. So keep it simple and just do some spiritual protection around yourself, however you choose to do that. But remember, when you're walking in the light of the divinity for the highest good of all things, breathing is one soul unit of this gorgeous, beautiful universe, then you are really, you're an autopilot protection. But sometimes it makes people feel a little bit better if they stop, drop, sit, breathe, and connect with all that and recenter in those knowingness of the protection. And you got this. Do whatever you've got to do to keep it simple, because your mission is huge. It's huge. Just breathe